Dive into a breathtaking post-apocalyptic world where Aloy, the fierce machine hunter, embarks on an epic quest to save her tribe from a deadly blight spreading across lush deserts, stormy mountains, and vibrant underwater realms teeming with colossal robotic beasts and ancient human secrets. This sequel pushes the PS5 to its limits with hyper-realistic ray-traced reflections that make water shimmer like glass, intricate foliage that rustles in the wind with lifelike detail, and dynamic lighting that casts dramatic shadows during intense battles, all running at 4K resolution in graphics mode for 30 FPS or 60 FPS in performance mode to keep the action fluid. You'll want to play it right now because it's the ultimate showcase of open-world beauty on PS5, with over 50 hours of exploration, crafting, and heart-pounding combat using bows, traps, and elemental powers that feel revolutionary thanks to the DualSense controller's haptic feedback and adaptive triggers for every arrow release and override. Whether you're climbing sheer cliffs or swimming through coral reefs, the seamless world building and stunning vistas make every moment feel alive and immersive, especially with the Burning Shores DLC adding volcanic spectacles that amplify the graphical wow factor.
Swing through an expanded New York City skyline as Peter Parker and Miles Morales unite as the ultimate spider team to take down symbiote-infused villains like Venom and the ruthless Kraven the Hunter, all while juggling personal lives, symbiote corruption, and massive citywide threats that test their heroism and friendship in a story packed with twists and emotional depth. Graphically, it's a PS5 masterpiece, with ray-traced shadows and reflections turning rain-slicked streets into mirror-like canvases, hyper-detailed character models showing every muscle flex and suit texture, and explosive particle effects during web-slinging combos that burst at 4K 60 FPS for buttery smooth traversal across burrows. Play it now because this 2023 exclusive still sets the bar for superhero action in 2025, delivering 20 to 30 hours of non-stop thrills with gadget upgrades, suit customizations, and epic boss fights that integrate the city's verticality perfectly, enhanced by DualSense vibrations that mimic web tension and venom blasts for total immersion. Ideal for clipping those cinematic chase sequences.
Step back into the eerie, connection-starved world as Sam Porter Bridges, portrayed by Norman Reedus, treks across surreal beaches and fractured landscapes to forge the last human links against otherworldly BTs and societal collapse. Joined by a quirky cast including Elle Fanning in a narrative blending philosophy, horror, and hope with bizarre deliveries and heartfelt encounters. The visuals are photorealistic poetry on PS5, featuring advanced ray tracing for volumetric clouds that swirl like dreams, terrain that deforms underfoot with granular detail, and character faces so lifelike they rival Hollywood CGI, all at 4K 60 FPS with zero loading hitches thanks to the SSD. It's a must-play in 2025 as Kojima's fresh sequel expands the Strand gameplay with new vehicles, combat tools, and asynchronous multiplayer elements like leaving structures for others, offering 40-plus hours of contemplative walking sim action, where haptic feedback simulates sand shifts and cargo balance, making every step a graphical and emotional journey through beauty and desolation.
Join Kratos and his son Atreus on a mythic odyssey through the 9 Norse realms, from icy Midgard tundras to fiery Muspelheim forges, as they unravel prophecies of doom, forge uneasy alliances with gods like Odin and Thor, and confront family bonds amid brutal axe-throwing battles and puzzle-laden explorations in a tale of growth, loss, and inevitable Ragnarok. This action epic dazzles with ray-traced global illumination lighting up rune-etched armors and vast landscapes in exquisite 4K detail, fluid 60 FPS animations for combo-heavy combat, and environmental effects like cracking ice and billowing flames that feel tangible. Grab it now for its timeless 2022 story with 2025 updates, adding replayable challenges, delivering 25 to 35 hours of cinematic narrative driven by Leviathan axe throws, Atreus' archery, and realm tear puzzles, all amplified by DualSense for weapon impacts and wind gusts, perfect for showcasing those massive screen-filling boss arenas that blend spectacle with soul.
Rev your engines in the pinnacle of racing simulation, where you rise from novice driver to legend by collecting hyper-detailed cars, tuning them to perfection, and conquering global circuits under changing weather, day-night cycles, and physics-accurate drifts in a career mode blending competition, customization, and the pure joy of speed. Graphically, it's unmatched with ray-traced reflections on polished hoods and wet tarmac that gleam realistically, photorealistic vehicle interiors down to stitching and gauges, and crowd animations in stadiums at 4K 60 FPS or even 120 FPS for ultra-smooth replays. Why race it in 2025? Constant updates bring new tracks like Kyoto and cars from Ferrari to classics, providing endless garage building and online races with PS5's quick loads for instant retries, plus DualSense haptics that rumble through gears and tire grip. Over 100 hours of zen-like driving that highlights the console's fidelity for any car aficionado.
Blast off with dimension-hopping heroes Ratchet, his robot pal Clank, and the fierce Rivet as they rift through colorful multiverses to stop Emperor Nefarious from unraveling reality, wielding absurd weapons like the Rift Welder in platforming extravaganzas filled with puzzles, minigames, and explosive shootouts across vibrant planets. The graphics pop with Pixar-level vibrancy, seamless rift transitions without loads showcasing PS5's SSD magic, ray-traced shadows on fur and metal, and particle explosions at 4K 60 FPS that make every zap and jump a delight. Play it now as a joyful 2021 launch exclusive that's still fresh in 2025, clocking 15 to 20 hours of family-friendly fun with collectible Zerkies, hoverboot dashes, and co-op modes, where DualSense triggers adjust for weapon recoil, great for lighthearted clips of interdimensional chaos and eye-candy worlds.
Embark on a cosmic adventure as Astro, a pint-sized robot hero, zipping through galaxy-spanning planets to rescue lost bots and rebuild a mothership, bouncing across vibrant biomes from neon jungles to steampunk deserts with tight platforming, creative gadgets like jetpack paws, and playful tributes to PlayStation's iconic characters in a joyful love letter to gaming. This 2025 gem dazzles with ray-traced reflections on Astro's glossy shell, lush 4K environments bursting with color and particle effects like confetti storms, and silky 60 FPS jumps that feel buttery smooth. It's a must-play now for its 10 to 15-hour runtime packed with collectibles, dual-character puzzles, and boss fights against giant DualSense-themed mechs, with haptics making every spring bounce and laser blast tactile. Perfect for family-friendly YouTube clips showcasing PS5's graphical charm and nostalgic heart.
In feudal Japan, embody dual assassins, Naoe, the stealthy shinobi, and Yasuke, the mighty samurai, as they infiltrate warlord courts, assassinate corrupt daimyo, and unravel a conspiracy threatening the shogunate, blending parkour across cherry blossom temples, katana duels in bamboo groves, and eagle-eyed scouting in a massive historical sandbox. Ray-traced foliage and seasonal changes make landscapes breathe at 4K 60 frames, with intricate armor clinks and dynamic weather, elevating stealth and combat. Launching strong in 2025, it offers 50-plus hours of branching stories, gear crafting, and naval raids with DualSense for blade parries. Ideal for historical action fans seeking photorealistic immersion in samurai lore. Set in the snowy wilds of 1603 Japan around Mount Yotei, take up the mantle as Atsu, a vengeful warrior seeking justice against a tyrannical clan, mastering Ronin swordplay, archery, and fox spirit summons while exploring vast tundras, hot springs, and haunted villages in a tale of honor, betrayal, and supernatural folklore. This sequel shines with ray-traced snowfalls blanketing hyper-detailed terrains, fluid horseback charges, and atmospheric auroras at 4K 60 FPS for epic duels. As Sucker Punch's 2025 exclusive, it's a fresh, open-world gem with 40 hours of dynamic events, haiku composition, and clan building, using haptics for frostbite and bow draws, perfect for cinematic samurai footage that captures serene beauty and brutal intensity.
Deploy as an elite helldiver in a satirical galactic war, dropping planet-side with your squad to liberate worlds from bug swarms and robotic automatons using over-the-top stratagems like orbital strikes and mechs, and chaotic co-op missions that mock military bravado amid friendly fire and heroic sacrifices for super-Earth democracy. Explosive visuals feature destructible environments with ray-traced debris, horde animations, swarming screens, and planetary atmospheres at 4K 60 FPS for frantic firefights. It's blowing up in 2025, with endless updates and crossplay, delivering replayable 10 to 20-hour campaigns of voice chat hilarity and loadout tweaks, DualSense rumbling through turrets, a graphical blast for multiplayer mayhem. Crash land on the hostile planet Atropos as Selene, a stranded astronaut looping through bullet-hell deaths and revelations, unraveling her past via xenotech guns, alien runes, and biomechanical horrors in a roguelike shooter blending psychological thriller with high-stakes survival. PS5's ray-traced reflections on oily tentacles and foggy biomes, plus 4K 60 FPS lock-on dashes create nightmarish immersion. Play this 2021 gem now for its 2025 co-op mode, offering 30-plus hours of run variety, grapple hooks, and lore logs, with haptics for otherworldly heartbeats. Stunning for tense, replayable action horror. Wield Eve, an airborne squad pilot turned android warrior, slashing through Nadaba-infested Earth wastelands to reclaim humanity's cradle, customizing outfits and combos and a spectacle fighter with parry-focused duels, aerial acrobatics, and post-apoc cities hiding survivor camps and tech upgrades. Sleek 4K models with ray-traced hair physics and fluid animations at 60 FPS make every beta skill chain a visual feast. As Shift Up's 2024 breakout, it's thriving in 2025 with DLC skins, spanning 20-25 hours of story-driven hacks and exploration. DualSense for blade clashes, eye candy for Souls-like fans loving stylish, high-fidelity combat. As FBI agent Saga Anderson and thriller writer Alan Wake alternate between investigations in shadowy Bright Falls and meta-nightmares in a dark room, combating the Taken with light-based guns and manuscript twists in a survival horror sequel weaving reality, fiction, and cult rituals into mind-bending terror. Unreal Engine 5 delivers ray-traced paths of light-piercing fog, detailed faces in cutscenes, and dynamic shadows at 4K 30 FPS fidelity mode. Essential for 2025's horror scene, it packs 20 to 30 hours of puzzle shooting hybrids, musical numbers, and live-action blends, haptics for flashlight beams, a graphical nightmare that's narratively genius.
Loot and shoot your way across the chaotic planet Kairos as one of 4 Vault Hunters, unleashing action skills against bandit hordes and timekeeper cults in a cel-shaded looter-shooter sequel brimming with billions of guns, vehicle chases, and irreverent humor amid corporate overlords and ancient vaults. Vibrant ray-traced explosions and procedural animations keep the mayhem popping at 4K 60 FPS split-screen. Gearbox's 2025 return promises 40-plus hours of skill tree builds, co-op raids, and Easter eggs, with adaptive triggers for reloads, perfect for explosive, colorful co-op clips that highlight PS5's party prowess.